morning. I'm so excited to be standing here before you today to talk about watching the kids and what it means. But I'm going to need your help. You see, I grew up in a Black Baptist Southern church, and they would help the preacher out. Now, I know this isn't church, but if you hear me say the word honey, I need you to say, I'm home. A little bit of call and response to make sure that you're following along with me. So let's try that out. Honey. Now, I said I grew up in a Black Southern Baptist church. It had a little bit more emotion and energy. So let's try that out again. Honey. Much better. Now that phrase, honey. Good. It was a phrase that I saw growing up watching reruns of shows like I Love Lucy and the Dick Van Dyke Show. Now, as a little kid, I didn't really understood what it meant, but as I continued to grow up and look around me, I saw that the men would go to work and they would come home to the wife who had done everything right. She had cooked a 3-course meal, cleaned the entire house, and took care of the kids. Now, this may sound a little bit impractical, but go with me for a second. It's what I saw. And so as I became an adult and continued to grow up, I got married in 2016, and I thought this is how it's gonna work. But I was wrong. What made me wrong was I didn't understand the context I was marrying in. You see, I married into the military. And the military is a very special context. What I mean by that is the military takes priority over all decisions in the family. If the military says it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. If the military says we need the ones you love to deploy for 6 or 7 months, they have to go. And that's how it works. So I kept working in 2016 when we got married. Life was going good. And then in 2018, we found out that we were expecting. What do I do in this context? So I decided to support my wife, to be there for her. And I thought it would be temporary. But no, my wife needed my presence. So when I started to say the phrase, honey, it meant that I was home. Now, when you look at that picture, what do you see? Do you see a 3-course meal? Do you see that the clothes have been cleaned, the laundry is taken care of? No. You see a person that's tired, that's taking a nap while his daughter takes a nap. Because I underestimated the physical, emotional, and spiritual energy that's needed to take care of a child. And just when I thought I was starting to figure out what it means to take care of one child, that's right, 2 came along. Now, picture this for a second. I'm trying to figure out what it means to just be a dad. And at the same time, I'm struggling with the model that I saw growing up of what it means to be a dad and a man and a husband. But here I am at home trying to figure out how to pour love into 2 beautiful children. It was tough. I mean, it was tough. I would look in the mirror and try to understand what's happening here. You see, when I would go to the moms and see them at the parks, they would look at me surprised. Oh, do you have the kids for today? You just took off a day of work? No. Actually, I stay at home with the kids. Oh, would be their reaction. And when I would go talk to the dads, they would look at me and say, hey, Irvin, when are you going to be working again? This is work. Try taking care of 2 children day in, day out. And then I would look in the mirror and say, what's happening here? I have 2 degrees in engineering. I received engineering awards, and I don't know what's going to happen. And so I started to get excited because my children were getting older. And I was like, yes, they get to go to preschool. I get to go back to work. And then life, the military, changed again. You see, they told my wife, it's time for you to go for 6 months overseas. Oh my God, what do? I had to learn how to build a community of support around me. I had to learn how to do all these things by myself. At first, I had my wife to come in from work every day. When she would say, honey, it meant that she had been working. And so I had her support. But now we had to figure out what it means to just be me by myself with 2 beautiful girls. At one point, they got sick. They had a stomach virus. And I'm trying to clean them up. I'm trying to take care of them. And this is a bit grotesque. I had vomit all over my feet. And in that moment, I was struggling to understand what is happening here. This is not the model that I saw. And I remember looking in the mirror and saying, God, is this all you have for me? Is this it? And this lived experience of mine is not unique. You see, we have asked for decades for moms to sacrifice their aspirations, their careers, their dreams without even a second thought. And then we punish them when they want to return to their careers or start a business by saying, well, what's going on here in your resume? Oh, I was taking care of the kids. Oh. And I really didn't understood what that meant until I experienced it myself. Even when I started applying for jobs and people would interview me and say, we see this gap of 5 years. What was happening? I took care of my children. What do we do with that? And I was constantly in this middle of outdated ideas of what it means to be a husband and a man. So, how do we start to change that? And one of the ways I have started doing that is I remember those who we forget in our research. How do walks of life change how people navigate their entrepreneurial journey? Now, what can you do, honey? We each have our own families. How do we start, instead of making assumptions, start considering what it means for this family situation, what is needed? You see, for me, my wife and my children needed me to be home. And that's okay. Instead of making these assumptions of these traditional roles, what is needed from your family? And so when my wife returned home from deployment, it was a joyous occasion because I learned that by saying, honey, home is where I belong and it's okay. So now my challenge to you all is every time you hear the phrase, honey, you'll never forget that maybe it's your turn to be at home. Thank you.